Good morning and welcome to Frank's School. In a sense, I'm going to pause here for just a minute because I got thinking about this the heater. I'm going to call this masonry or steel stove for a tiny house. Well, there's no question in my mind that a masonry heater or stove is what you're going to want. I've watched some of the other videos of building tiny houses or really tiny houses, cabins in the woods remote, and they seem to always go with steel or maybe cast iron with fire brick inside, but it can be done with masonry. And because of the matter of thermal mass, it's too important. You'd just be stoking those little stoves. You'd be stoking them all the time to stay warm. So I paused here, but first let me say I looked at this video, the last one, and the number of pieces is right, and the measurements are right. So I can get rid of that. But I paused because this matter right here, I'm going to go on assuming that we're going to build our masonry heater on the floor. And it will be heavy, but the floor will support it. But it can easily come out. When I build something, I build it in such a way that it can very easily be taken apart. And it's very possible that I will later come back here and basically remove this much of it and go all the way down to the ground, so that all that space down there is also available to get warm, to offer thermal mass, and down under there, well, see, that way I could possibly have a really huge firebox. The firebox and the amount of the high temperature should not be related. The firebox really has to do, it's another matter, and the firebox could be very large, even though the flue might only be that big around, as it probably will be. And so I get thinking about that, and it will slow me up too much if I go into the design of something like that right now. I'm going to keep going for the time being. But the question arose then, what about an under the floor draft? That's not unheard of, where your draft for your fire doesn't come down by your feet through a door, but it comes from underneath. Even in fireplaces, that's not unknown, because in a fireplace you're sitting right there in the draft. So in a fireplace, it's quite an interesting idea. So that would be possible. And what really got me going on this is, since we're going to be building a drain right here in the middle with a built-in sag to the drain, what about a vent for that drain? What if you used it, brace yourself for this, what if you used it like a chimney pot? Now you could certainly seal it off with, there wouldn't be any trouble at all, just having a piece of vinyl even or something to lay on there, or to have it sealed off. But for it to drain or draw, well, possibly out through the firebox. We could possibly put, to prevent a matter of, if you're going to put a vent on it, as outhouses often do, you could probably run it up through there, possibly. These are just kind of ideas, really. And what about the ash clean out? Well, you know, cleaning your ashes out and stoking it too, it introduces dirt into your living space. Well, that ash clean out could certainly be on the outside of the building here, say, or here. For that matter, probably, I don't see why you couldn't stoke the fire from the outside too. Now, you wouldn't want it right on the ground. You'd want it raised using the hollow core of the blocks to at least get it off the ground, so your fire, the bed of your fire would stay warmer. So there's enough matters there for me to think about that I'm taking this video for about it. Now I'm gonna give you a couple references though, because in Frank's School, I'll give you a reference to a playlist which I call Building a Cheap but Good Fireplace. Batch bug is the word. If you building a cheap but good, all kinds of stuff. I have quite a few videos on there, and this is a whole playlist. So I'll refer you to that and give you the link. And also, I would certainly take at least part of a look at a single video. I'll give you a link again called Kids by a Fire. You know, so that will show you that it actually works to build something like this without mortar, and in this case with a very difficult drawing situation. Bye for now.